What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and I'm here today to review Taylor Swift's 1989. So this is the final album review that we will be having on our channel of her, at least her past albums, not counting Reputation. We've done video reviews for every one of her albums: Taylor Swift, Fearless, Speak Now, Red. Now we're doing 1989. We have videos up of all her song reviews of Look What You Made Me Do, Ready For It, and Gorgeous of her, her current album. So we've done a lot of Taylor Swift stuff. If you have, watched those and you're checking us out for the first time, thank you for watching. So in these videos, I review her whole album. I talk about kind of the overarching points of the album, and then I go and I talk about each song. So if you like the idea, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now, like and share the video now. Like I said, this is it for the album reviews. After this, we're going to be doing album ranking. So I'm going to be ranking the albums next week, and then the week after, I'm going to be ranking her songs. I don't necessarily know how the list of that is going to go, like how many. And then after that, Reputation comes out November 10th, so we're going to have lots of stuff up about Reputation, about the album and the songs in that album. And then after that, it's kind of whatever you guys want me to do. If you have any suggestions for Taylor Swift videos for the future, definitely let me know. So 1989 was released 3 years ago on October 27th, 2014. So we're actually coming up on its birthday. In fact, today, if this video goes up today, I'm recording it, today is Red's 5th birthday. So it's been half a decade since she released Red, so happy birthday to Red. But, it has been almost 3 years since 1989. She has a thing releasing albums in October and early November. That's just when she likes to do it, and I can appreciate that. I like albums coming out in that time period. So 1989 was obviously considered her first pop album. That's what she actually said about it, that she felt this was her first pop album. And, I actually can kind of agree with that. If you look at the way Taylor Swift had been going up till this point, she had, in my opinion, almost completely ditched the country kind of side to her in Speak Now. Where Speak Now was very much, I think it was almost a complete pop album. Red, she kind of dialed it back, and Red, she did a lot of different things, but she kind of brought back a little bit of the country. And in this album, for sure, it's completely gone. Gone are the days of using pop and country well in songs like Begin Again, or Enchanted, or Haunted, or any of your beloved songs, 22, any of your beloved songs from Taylor Swift. Gone are those days. 1989 is completely different from all the other ones. It's a breath of fresh air in that respect, and I think Taylor Swift does pop extremely well. I think the catchiness and the way she uses pop in this album are nearly perfect. They are such catchy songs. They're very enjoyable. This is by far, in my opinion, the most consistent album Taylor Swift has ever made. I think throughout the whole album, you're constantly getting good song after good song. And, I think that is the case in some of her past albums. I think Speak Now is her best album by a mile. It's got her best songs in it. But even that has a little bit of pacing issues that we talked about in that video, how, fast song, slow song, fast song, slow song. And that can work for a set period of time, but not if you do it every other time, literally like she did. 1989 is super consistent. You got this synthetic kind of, you got the synthesizers going on. You have her voice overlaid on top of her voice. You have, and exactly that. Not only does she also sing the same lyrics on top of herself singing the same lyrics, but sometimes she'll have herself singing something different. She'll stretch out her vocals. I think by far Taylor Swift's voice in this album is super, super good. And I think the best of the 5 albums. I really liked her voice in Speak Now, the album. I think in Red, she really had some great songs with her voice. I think Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, and Begin Again were Sad, Beautiful, Tragic is just a different way she used her voice. But Begin Again, I thought, was actually one of the prime examples of her voice being, literally awesome. Really, really good. And I think her voice is the star of 1989. All of the songs sound very different, but her voice is definitely what carries almost every single song. While I like the pop aspect of it, and I like the catchiness, and I like some of her use of guitar works, and again, the synthesizer work, and really the 80s feel altogether, those are definitely good, but it's what she does with her voice in each song, how she changes up the structure of how she's singing, how some of it is more like rap-like in Bad Blood, or just literally the way she does her voice, the effects that she puts over her voice, singing a little bit lower, singing a little bit higher. those are what really makes these songs special and unique from each other. So I think without a doubt, her voice is what shines in this album. And in this album, I find that it's, like I said, it's very consistent. It's got a great mix to it where the singles really, really stand out. I mean, my favorite song on this entire album is Shake It Off, which obviously was the very first lead single she had in this album. Very, very popular, obviously. I mean, super catchy. And, you know, can it get annoying? I think to some people it can. I can listen to it every day, all day, and I'll never get annoyed by it. I really, really like that song. The big songs on this album definitely come through. And even when you kind of go off of that and you don't listen to just the singles, the rest of the songs are unique enough to really be good. The only weakness I really have in this album is none of those songs, and really no song other than Shake It Off, really stands like above the rest. In, you know, a song in an album like Red, there's some songs that are just really, really good and just way better than the rest. In Speak Now, in Fearless, there is those songs that are just super, super special in them that elevate themselves over the other ones. Now, is that really a weakness for 1989? No, because I think they're all so good. The quality of production on this album is super, super good. Not only is it consistently good, but just the quality of what she had to put in to this album is super, super good. But none of the songs other than Shake It Off really have this elevating factor about them that make them that much better than the rest of the songs. I can't honestly say there's like a second favorite song on this album because I really do like a lot of the songs second. There's really no weak song on this entire album. I can't honestly point to one. Even the deluxe edition songs are very, very good, as opposed to Reds, which were just there. They were just there. They weren't good. They were just occupying space, along with just a few songs on that album. The third bonus song, New Romantics, was actually her last single, which is actually a very, very catchy, very, very pop centric song, so I really like that. So overall, super consistent, super high quality, and super good. This is a song written about a lot of different things. A lot of songs have different things going into them. It is obviously still about love and relationships, but this is written about quite a few different things. We're going to talk about the meanings of each song and reviewing each song in a second. So this album definitely is really, really good. It's one of my personal favorite albums. This is going to be ending the kind of overarching talk about the album. So now I'm going to go into each individual song and kind of look at them each uniquely. Okay, so Welcome to New York is the very first song on this album, and I think this is a very, very good start to the album. She has a way, and she's gotten better throughout the albums of starting her albums very, very good. I mean, she kind of did that ever since Fearless, but she's gotten, I think, better and better. State of Grace was a fantastic way to open up Red, and similarly, Mind is a really good way to open up Speak Now. For 1989, this is a very different Taylor Swift we're hearing. This is a very, pop-centric, different sound that you've never heard from her other than in this album if you're just listening to it for the very first time. And Welcome to New York is a perfect way to jump us in. It's catchy. I really like the way she uses her voice. It's literally a welcome. It's welcoming you to New York, where obviously at this time she had just moved in. She was really liking the way New York was. This is where she kind of expressed her advocacy in equal rights for LGBTQ plus community when she said boys and boys and girls and girls. So there's a lot of messages in Welcome to New York, and again, very, very catchy. I really, really like this song. This is a very good opening song. One of my favorite opening songs off of any of her albums. Then you have Blank Space, which again, I mean, this is a very, very popular song. I think this is her either top song or second song on YouTube in terms of views. I mean, this song obviously was massive when it came out, one of the singles of this album, and this is again kind of how the media perceives her to be, kind of being this crazy person who has all of these boyfriends and all this stuff, as she says, and this got a long list of ex-lovers. So again, very, very catchy, a little bit mixing the lines of pop and kind of a rapping little aspect, but I love the noises in the background. Again, a lot of these songs, what makes them special is the effects added. Now this song, and even Welcome to New York, is a lot of just her pure voice, which I really like, but in these two songs, it's a lot of the background music that I really like. And as we go on through the album, she does do some minor changes with her voice through effects that I also really enjoy. Style is next, and Style has a definite 80s feel where it's got the really nice guitar work in the background. I really like it. It's very, very catchy. Another single. This song I think doesn't stand up as well the more times you listen to it, and I think overall in these in the first 3 songs in this album, I think this probably is the weakest. I like it a lot. I mean, again, it's a message about love and about relationships, but overall I like the guitar work. I like that it's kind of going a little bit off, and there's very little guitar overall in this album. She cut back a lot of the actual instruments, which is fine. That's the kind of element that she's going to, which is perfectly fine. But Style is different. I think it's very unique compared to the other 2, but just my least favorite of those 3. Out of the Woods is next, and now Out of the Woods is a song that when I first heard it, I don't think it really affected me much. I don't really, even to this day, like the repeating of the words, "Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet?" It's okay. I like the use of our actual band singing that. But again, I do like her voice, and this song is also a lot of just her pure voice. This isn't really yet to that part where we're going to start changing her voice around yet. And this song overall is pretty solid. It kind of goes back a little bit. It's got like a mix of a blank space kind of feel to it. Overall, it's a very good song. Another single that she had off her album. One of the very first songs we've actually heard, when I think she performed this on Jimmy Kimmel Live when she was just announcing this, and she did Shake It Off and she did this. So this was one of the very first songs we heard off of this album, at least live. The next song is All You Had to Do Was Stay. Now, I like this song. I don't like her use of the word stay when it's long and kind of screeched out. I don't like that. I don't like how that really is twisting her voice, how she sounds. She does sound a little bit different in this song compared to the other songs, just her voice normally before she says the stay. And again, this song, I think she had said that this was like a dream that she had where that's like the only thing she could say in the dream, and she like woke up very weirded out by it. I like this song. I like its melody. I like how it's put together. I really like her voice other than just that part, but this is an example of a song that is different. All of these songs are very different from each other. I mean, Out of the Woods is a little bit blank spacey, but it's not really. All these songs are very unique, and this song, All You Had to Do Was Stay, is very different than the 4 songs before it. It's a song that you don't really think of probably when you think of 1989 or you think of Taylor Swift, but this is, it's right towards the middle. It's kind of opening up this middle area of the album where we're going to start to see a few more singles, a few more big songs, but then also some very experimental songs that she does pretty well on this album overall. Shake It Off is next, and again, Shake It Off, my favorite song on the album. I think one of the best songs she's ever written. Extremely pop, extremely different from any of the songs on this album, any of the songs on her past albums, any of the songs on Reputation. I really like the music video for it. I really like her voice in it. I really like just the use of the instruments. I mean, this is a pop kind of dance-worthy, no, I don't dance, but this is a dance-worthy kind of song just of not caring, being able to shake it off. Super, super catchy. Again, I think people heard the song so much when it came out that it just like drove them mad. I really, really enjoy the song. I think it's the best song she wrote. She's very aware, again, of what people say about her. This is very much like Mean. I mean, she gives multiple examples in Shake It Off of what people think. That she goes on too many dates, she's not smart enough, she doesn't even realize she's doing these things. She's very aware of what people talk about her. And this is really reflective of that. So I think it's really well written. I think it's really well put together. I think the message of it is fantastic. I think it's super catchy. I think it's the most catchy song on this album. I think it's probably one of the most catchy songs you'll ever find in any pop artist ever. So I really applaud her for this. It's a really good spot for it because you're kind of getting into this more experimental stuff. And you can consider this experimental because we had never heard anything like this by Taylor Swift before. Obviously, when we listen to the album now, we think, oh, Shake It Off. It's the first song we heard from this when she announced it. This was the music video she put out for it. But this is, if you're just going into a cold, very, very different, very experimentational because we've never heard anything like this from her before. The next song is I Wish You Would, and now this song is also very, very good. I like her use of the whole, when she says, I wish I would. I really, really like that. I think that's very, very different. I feel like nowadays, and even maybe back in 2014, we had heard things like that before, that use of repeating things really, really quickly and then kind of extending the ending. I think we'd heard that before, but I really like her voice in this. Again, this is a song I think completely propelled by her voice, propelled by the catchiness of just that phrase. I really, really like this song overall, and I think it's a good way of coming off of Shake It Off, because it's still catchy and it's very pop, but it's like a step down from Shake It Off, kind of getting us away from like this really push of pop that Shake It Off is, very kind of overpowering even in a way, and this song is kind of taking it a step back, doing things a little bit differently overall, but also still kind of having all the elements of Shake It Off and the other pop songs before it in it. Bad Blood is next. Now, Bad Blood, again, many people have come to the conclusion, written about Katy Perry, written about the relationship between those two. Now, I really like the original version when she is doing kind of the more beatboxing rap parts of it. I really, really like that. I like the way they change her voice. I like how she sounds almost very serious and kind of mean in the rapping part before she comes in for the actual chorus. I really like that overall. I mean, I like the catchiness. I like that it's a more beatboxing rap kind of song overall. I think, again, very, very catchy. Obviously, the music video of this with all of her friends in it. I mean, a really, really special song. And again, the original version when she's doing the entire thing, I think is really, really good, and definitely by far one of my favorite songs on this album. Wildest Dreams is next, and Wildest Dreams is a song that is also very different. Very kind of, not light, but lighter in a way than the other songs. It's very more of an open song. It's got more of like background effects to it. It's used. They even have her heartbeat in it, I was reading. So this song is very, very different. Again, the catchiness and the way that Taylor Swift's voice is presented through all these songs are extremely good. And Wildest Dreams is no different. I think this could be one of the weaker singles in the album, just for the fact that it doesn't really do anything to stand. This is another example. It doesn't stand out really amongst, say, like style. If you put Wildest Dreams and Style together, is there anything really about either of them that put them above the other? Not really. They're very unique and very different from each other, but it's weird because I don't really know which one I would put above each other. I think that's overall the only problem this album actually has. How You Get the Girl is next, and this song is definitely a dark horse, kind of one of my favorite songs on this album, candidate. This song is very good. This is one of those hidden gems that I always look for in a Taylor Swift album when I'm listening to it. What kind of song that I've never heard before that people don't really talk about? Which one of these is going to catch me? And How You Get the Girl is very good. It's written as kind of like a playbook for a guy who breaks up with a girl and kind of wants to get her back after several months, and it's not as easy as the guy maybe thinks it's going to be. Very, very clever. I really like her voice when she's actually saying that's how you get the girl. I really, really like that. Her voice is something that I truly enjoy. I think you do have to like her voice overall in order to enjoy her music. I think that's probably the case with almost any musician. But if you don't like her voice, you're really going to have, I think, a hard time liking this album. But I think she does a fantastic job in this song and the album overall. I think she really, really shines in this song specifically. And again, the catchiness is there. The lyrics are there. The message is there. I mean, it's a really, really special, good song for being this late in the album and being kind of underneath all of these big singles that we've heard so much of. This Love is next. And now This Love is a, kind of a darker, not really darker, but her voice definitely has more effects to it. A more mystical kind of feeling to her voice. It's a more kind of serious, even in a way monotone, where again, it's very, her voice is kind of dropped back a little bit in this one. It's a very much slower paced song than all the other songs. And I like that. I think you need to kind of have a slower paced song in any album. And this song definitely is that for this album. I think it's pretty much at a really good point. I think we're starting to get into the experimentational part of this album, and How You Get the Girl is very different. It is poppy, it is catchy, but it is just a different kind of sound overall. And now you get this song that's very unique, very different from any of the other songs on this album, while still maintaining this 80s sounding, synthesizer sounding, pop album feel. She keeps the feel of the 80s pop sound in all of her songs while making each song sound unique, which I really, really appreciate by her throughout the entire album. I Know Places is another one, again, propelled by her voice. It's not that special. Again, it doesn't do much to make itself any better than the other songs. I mean, the message of it is, again, kind of referring to herself and her boyfriend or whoever she's with as kind of like foxes hunted by the media, and how she knows a place that you can like hide from all this. That's a really good message, and I can follow along with the song just fine. It's got a really good story. I like that, but again, doesn't do anything monumentally different to put it above or even below any of the other songs on this album. And Clean is the last one. Now, last one on the official album. Clean is a very good song. I think Clean and How You Get the Girl are probably my two favorite songs that aren't big name singles like Blank Space or Shake It Off. Clean is very good, kind of ridding herself of this metaphorical addiction, right? In this case, kind of being maybe even what the media portrays her as being, and kind of just being okay with everything, and very, very, like, just feeling good. And that's what this song is really all about. I like it slower. Again, this is a slower but very different sounding song. I think this is a perfect way to end the album. I really like how different it sounds from all the other songs, but I really like just how welcoming it is and how easy it is to listen to, while also having a really good story behind it, really good lyrics. Her voice is really good. I like the sounds in the background. I mean, this song is kind of continuing her ability to end albums very, very strong. I think she does that extremely well. Going back to Change, going back to Long Live, going back to Begin Again, and now this. I mean, there's 4 really, really perfect songs that I think are some of the best songs on the entire album every single time. She really does a good job beginning and ending the albums very, very strong, besides her very first album, I think. Wonderland is the first song of kind of the deluxe edition, the bonus songs. I like her use of the word Wonderland, and I like the effects that they have on her voice, kind of like she's shouting to a crowd, but she has this kind of feel to her, and I really, really like that. I like the song overall. It is very catchy. It does have the sounds of more of the catchy, fast-sounding, maybe even like Bad Blood sound to it. So I feel like it is a little bit of a repeat of some of the sounds we've heard already in the album, and maybe that's why it was cut. But overall, very, very good. Very, very good first song on the deluxe edition. You know, the bonus songs. You could put this in the album, and there would be nothing wrong with it whatsoever. You Were in Love is a very kind of high energy, really like good sounding song. Everything about it is very positive, right? Because it's very, the fact that she's literally talking about what you are feeling like when you're in love, or like, do you even realize like you're in love? Like, that's really cool, and she does that very well in the song. It's just a feel-good song, and again, it's got a lot of the similar elements from the album put into it. And New Romantics is the final song, a song that I really, really like, one of the best bonus songs she's ever had in any of her albums. This was a single, actually, which she didn't do at all in Red, for good reason. There was nothing there to do anything with, but she did with Ours in Speak Now, where she had a music video on it. New Romantics, she did the same thing. New Romantics is very good. It, again, has the sound of a little bit of a Shake It Off, Bad Blood, Blank Space kind of thing, and in the same kind of vein, talking about herself and her people, and again, what the portrayal of the media on them is. But I really, really like the song. It's very, very catchy. It's a very fast-paced song. It's a really good way to just end the album, whereas, you know, if you end it with Clean, and you end it with New Romantics, you do get a different kind of sense of how you're ending the album, because they're both very, very different songs from each other, where if you were to swap them, you'd be ending the album very, very differently. So I appreciate New Romantics existing, and I appreciate it being the last song on the deluxe edition. So if you are listening to the full thing, that's the last thing you hear. But if you listen to Clean, you're going to get a different kind of feel of a slower, a more mellow kind of sound overall as the last song. And I really, really like that there's that contrast in sound overall. So that's my album review for Taylor Swift's 1989. I really, really like this album. It's one of her better albums. Super consistent. A lot of really good songs. A lot of songs people have obviously heard of before, but then some other songs, I think some hidden gems in there. None of the songs truly outdo each other than a couple, and I think that's its really only weakness. So again, we've done reviews for all the Taylor Swift stuff on the channel already, so please make sure you check that out. Next week, I'm going to be ranking the 5 Taylor Swift albums. Maybe I'll even do more than the 5 because she has the Christmas album, so maybe I'll even add that. We'll see. Let me know in the comments below what you want, maybe what your rankings of her albums are, maybe some of your favorite songs, any future ideas for Taylor Swift content. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next Sunday for our next video in our Taylor Swift video series.